We'll begin by resting in constructive rest pose, lying on the back, knees bent, feet in line with the sit bones, arms wider than the mat, palms turned up. Support behind the head if you like, to draw the chin down towards the notch of the neck. Once you have the body set up, relax into the floor. Take a couple breaths to just allow the body to settle, releasing any unnecessary tension. Imagine your bones settling, being pulled down by the pull of gravity. In this position, notice the natural curve of the lower back. This is the neutral lumbar curve and the neutral position for the pelvis. Let your back ribs settle down into the mat. Relax the shoulders. Notice the neck. We want to have some length at the back of the neck, but if the chin is jutting up towards the ceiling, support your head with a pillow and draw the chin down towards the notch of the neck. Check your shoulder blades, open them broad and flat. Feel the very back of the head sinking into the floor. And notice your feet evenly connecting with the floor. We'll begin with the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor is a sling of muscles that's anchored on the tailbone, each one of the sit bones and the pubic bone. You can picture it like a diamond. Imagine the 4 points in your mind's eye. And then exhale, gather those 4 points in towards the center so you're gently engaging the perineum. And then let that relax. And let the whole body sink into gravity, releasing. And inhale, prepare, picture the diamond again. And with your exhale, gather the diamond in towards the center. This time add a little squeeze in the sphincters. And then relax. And again, let the whole body relax down into the floor. And one more time, inhale, picture the diamond. And exhale, gather it in towards the center. Squeeze the sphincters and then lift the pelvic floor up towards the crown of the head. And then relax that. And give into gravity. Now we're going to bring the attention to the transversus abdominis. It's the deepest level of the abdominal muscles. Bring your hands so they're touching your waists. And if I just give you the instruction, engage your core, feel what happens around the waist. You probably feel some engagement around your waists. That is your obliques, and they overlay the transversus. The transversus is under that. We're going to picture it like a tube going all the way around, or a set of muscles that encircles the tube of the torso all the way around, and deep and underneath those muscles that engage in your waist. So I want you to keep your hands on your waist. Picture a set of muscles way down deep to the center. And as you exhale, like a belt that you're going to snug around your hips, gather that belt around and see if you can do that with minimal or no impact in the waist. And then relax as you inhale. Let everything go. And sink into gravity. So the transversus is going to support all the way back around to the spine, come around the waist, and we're going to think of it as a belt that buckles beneath the belly button. Picture that belt. Keep your hands on your waist. Keep the waist quiet as you exhale. See if you can snug that belt without engaging the outer more layers of the obliques. Just the transverses, just inside. And then relax with the inhale. And give into gravity, soften completely. One more time. Inhale, prepare for the transversus abdominis, the belt. And exhale, gather it around, keeping the waist quiet. The transversus is going to pull in towards the center and make you more round. The obliques will flatten you out into the waist and make you more flat. So to feel the obliques a little bit more specifically, we're going to bring the hands behind the head. And with the inhale, feel how the ribs are flaring out wide. And then with the exhale, unflare the front ribs and think of each set reaching on a diagonal down towards the opposite back pocket. And then relax that as you inhale. Feel the ribs flaring in the front and also notice they're pulling up away from the mat a bit in the back. And as you exhale, see if you can reach your back ribs down to the mat, making an imprint into the mat with the back ribs. And then relax and let the front ribs flare. And exhale, unflare the front ribs and reach them down the diagonal towards the opposite back pockets. And then relax that with the inhale. Notice the back ribs. They're pulling up away from the mat. And as you exhale, imprint the back ribs down into the mat. Now we'll put them both together. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, unflare the front ribs, imprint the back ribs. Now keep that action happening and bring your hands down to your waist. You should feel good toneness in the waist, different from when you did the belt. And let that relax. And let's go into our arm lifts. For the first set, we're just going to use the belt, not the obliques. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, feel that belt come snug around your hips. It's not an action of the ribs. It's down deep and it's coming horizontally across your hips. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, lower the arms down to the sides. Let everything relax and your arms come down. We're going to do the same thing again, leaving the ribs to just do what they do. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, feel that belt snug around the hips, the low back, the low belly. Reach the arms back. Keep your lower back neutral just with the help of the transverses. And then float the arms up and bring the arms down to the sides. Relax the shoulders. I'm going to do that one more time. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, snug your belt. Try to think about remaining quiet in the waist and let the ribs just do what they do. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale, release the arms down and let everything soften. Now we're going to add the obliques. Inhale, bring the arms up towards the ceiling. To begin with, just stabilize with your transversus as you reach back. Keep the waist quiet. Keep the work deep in the belly. Now keep your arms back there and inhale. Notice that sensation of the ribs flaring and pulling away from the mat. Keep your arms back towards the floor behind you and imprint the back ribs. Unflare the front ribs. Now your obliques are active as well. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower the arms down to the sides. We're going to do that a couple more times. I'd like you to notice that the neutral back stays still and constant the whole time. There's never any flattening of the back or tilting of the pelvis. Inhale, bring the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, engage just the belt as you bring the arms back. That means the ribs are going to be moving. Now keep your arms back there and inhale. Feel the flaring of the ribs. And as you exhale, imprint your back ribs, unflare the front ribs. Now you have your back ribs down. You're still in your neutral spine. Inhale, arms float up. And then exhale, relax the arms down to the sides. Let the whole core relax, the inner core and the obliques. One more time. Inhale, float the arms up. Use your belt. Keep it low as you reach the arms back. Stable pelvis, stable lower back. Inhale, keep your arms there. Observe the ribs, they're flaring. Exhale, imprint the back ribs, unflare the front ones. And inhale, float the arms up to the ceiling. And now just keep the arms up and relax your shoulders. Let your shoulders drop down. Let your arm bones drop into the shoulder sockets. Make some small circles. And I do mean small. I want you just to imagine the arm bone like a little mortar and pestle in the joint. And just roll it around the joint in a small range of motion. And then reverse. And then still the arms. Let your shoulders settle. Engage your inner core. Feel the pelvic floor and the belt. Then engage your obliques. Feel your ribs knit down and around. Imprint the back ribs. And then reach your arms up and let your shoulders pull up away from the floor. And then settle the shoulders back down and settle the arms into the shoulder sockets. Again, reach up. Your shoulders are going to pull up off of the mat. And then let the shoulders settle back down and the arm bones settle into the sockets. One more time. Reach the arms up. Shoulders are pulling up off of the mat. Settle the shoulders and settle the arms and pause. Let everything relax for a moment. And we'll bring the hands behind the head again. Open the elbows out wide. Inhale, feel how the ribs are flaring. As you exhale, engage your inner core and imprint your ribs and lift your head. Keeping your neutral spine. Inhale, lower back down. Keep neutral, keep engaged, and exhale, lift again. Lower spine is stabilized. And inhale, lower back down. One more time, exhale to lift. And inhale to lower. And then relax. Bring your hands down. Put your fingertips on the hip points, your thumbs on your low ribs. I'm going to feel the steadiness of both of these points as we go into our alternate leg lifts. Inhale, prepare for the inner core. Exhale, find the inner core, then knit and imprint the ribs. Keep the pelvis and the ribs steady, the shoulders relax, and float the right foot up off of the floor. And then lower it back down. Keep the spine stable, the pelvis stable. Re-anchor and take the left foot up off of the floor and lower back down. If you feel movement in your fingers or your thumbs, cross your ribs down more firmly to the back pockets and picture your belt coming around your hip points. Lift the right foot and lower it. Keep the pelvis steady. Re-engage and lift the left foot. Keep very still on the pelvis. Relax the shoulders as much as possible. Do one more with each leg. Continue to reach your ribs down to the opposite back pocket. Wrap the belt snug around the hips. And lower the final foot down. I'm going to bring the hands behind the head again. Relax everything for a moment. Notice how this is pulling your front ribs wide and the back ribs off of the floor. Inhale. Exhale, engage the inner core and imprint. Lift your head up. Now see how make sure you can feel your back ribs reaching down into the mat, but you still have your neutral spine. And we're going to lift the right foot, then flex the foot and extend the right leg out at 45 degrees. Inhale, bend the knee, and exhale, re-stabilize as you lower your foot, and then take the left foot up, and flex out, reach. Inhale and bend the knee, and re-anchor and lower the foot. Again to the right side. Steady the pelvis, keep imprinting the back ribs. Reach out through the heel, inhale, bend the knee, and lower the foot. Re-anchor and inhale, left foot up. Exhale, flex, extend. Inhale and bend the knee and re-anchor to lower the left. Let's do one more set. Find your belt, reach your ribs down to the opposite back pockets. Keep steady in the pelvis and the ribs. And one more time with the left. Re-anchor, reach out through the heel. And then lower the foot and bring the head down. Relax your arms, come back to constructive rest pose. Relax the neck, the shoulders. Soften in the belly. Let the pelvis sink down. Release into gravity for a moment. Just notice the sensations. Should feel some activity in the belly. We're going to bring the arms up to the ceiling again. Relax the shoulders. Re-engage the inner core, the pelvic floor, and the transversus. Draw the ribs down the diagonals, imprint the back ribs, lift the right foot up. Keep the shoulders relaxed, imprint, and lift the left foot up. Keep steadying the pelvis, lower the right foot down, and then the left. And we'll do another compound leg lift. Start with the left, anchor, imprint, bring the right up. Continue to imprint, left down. Keep the core steady as you bring the right down. Now we're going to do half of a compound leg lift. Lift the right, imprint, lift the left, and stay there. Check in with your arms. Hands are directly over the shoulders. Drop the shoulders. And then without using your hands, bend the knees and pull the thighs in close to the belly. Arms are still up and vertical. You just flattened your back. Drop the shoulders down. Be sure the back of the neck is long. Keep the knees together. And keep your back ribs on the mat as you start to circle the knees around. Do one complete circle one way. Pause. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And then reverse the circle. All of this movement's happening below the waist. The back ribs stay down on the mat. Come back into the tuck in the center. Pause and then reverse. So you can play with the range of motion that's possible, but don't let the ribs be moving around. If your hands are moving in space, that means that your shoulder girdle is not steady. So keep that shoulder girdle steady. Keep the shoulders dropped. And do one more rotation. And back into the center. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Lift your feet up as high as your knees and circle your ankles. We're in a neutral spine. And reverse the circles. Then we're going to flex the feet. Reach out through the ball of the foot. Point the toes. Pull the toes back and flex the foot again. Reach through the ball of the foot. Point the toes. Pull the toes back and flex. Reach out through the ball of the foot. Point the toes. Pull the toes back. Flex. Now you're keeping your flex and squeeze the toes and open them. Squeeze and fan. Squeeze and fan. Good. Relax the feet. Re-engage your inner core. Take your ribs down to the opposite back pockets and imprint the back ones. Lower the right foot down and the left foot down. Keep anchoring and then lift the left foot up. And the right. Keep the shoulders relaxed and stay here. Right angle at the back of the knee. Preserve that as you go to your pistons. Exhale. Keep the back ribs imprinted. Reach down with the right toes and inhale, come back up. And exhale, the left toes tap down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, right down and back up. Exhale, left down and back up. So you want to make sure that back ribs are down. If they are, and you want a little more challenge, reach farther down the mat. If your back ribs are coming up off of the mat, just don't go quite all the way to the floor. Keep the shoulders relaxed. One more set. We're going to bring one hand onto each knee. Drop the knees wide. Check that the legs are relaxed. And then start stirring your thigh bones around your hip socket. Easy and loose in the hips. And reverse. And then with your hands, pull the knees into the chest. Lengthen the back of the neck. Feel your lower back stretch. And then return to your neutral tabletop position. Feet lifted as high as the knees. Relax the shoulders. We're going to cross the ankles so that the left foot comes over the right. The pinky side of the feet are against each other. And then as you exhale, press the two inner sides of the feet together. The outer side of the foot, the pinky side of the foot. Press them in. And then relax that. And exhale, press the two feet into each other. And relax. Feel this in the outer leg. Press. And relax. One more time like that. And we're going to cross the legs of the feet the other way. Again, the pinky sides of the feet are touching, and then press them into each other and relax. And press and relax. Press. Relax. One more time. Press and relax. Bring the hands onto the knees again. Flop the knees out wide. And now let's do out of phase hip circles. So start circling one leg and then the other. And let them flop around again, but this time not in sync with each other. Remember that your legs are passive. Your arms are doing the work. Reverse. If you didn't have your arms there, your legs would just flop down onto the, well, not to the floor, but they'd flop out wide. Okay, bring the knees into the chest now. Stretch the lower back, lengthen the back of the neck. And lift the feet as high as the knees. Feel your neutral spine. Bring your arms down to the side. We're going to prepare for the 100. Engage the inner core. Then the ribs knit and imprint. Press the palms down. Raise the head. Chin into the chest. Extend the legs if you like. Exhale for 5 pulses of the arms. And inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. And inhale. Exhale. Think about your ribs coming down on those diagonals, imprinting the back ones. Exhale for 5. And inhale. We'll make sure we have the obliques fully wrapped around. The inner core is supporting around the lower back and the back of the pelvis. Inhale for 5. The neck gets tired, put your head down. And inhale. The back gets tired, bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale for 5. And inhale. And then bring the knees to the chest. Rest your head down. Gently pull your knees in. Turn your head from one side to the other. And we're going to go to the leg circles. Straighten your left leg out onto the floor and bring the right knee to the breastbone. Left hand on the front left thigh. Pull your right knee to your right armpit. Stretch the inner thigh. Might get a nice stretch on your front left thigh as well. Right inner thigh, front left thigh. And then pull your right knee towards your left shoulder. Keep your tailbone down. Stretch the outer leg. And bring the knee into the center. Anchor your tailbone down. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling. Support it for a moment as you set your inner core. Then your ribs knitting and imprinting. Bring your thumbs to your low ribs, your fingers to your hip socket, or your hip points. Do 5 small, slow circles of the right leg, keeping the pelvis stabilized, rib cage steady. You'll feel this with your arms, no rocking. With your fingers, sorry. Feel this with your fingers, no rocking in the pelvis or ribs. Reverse the circles. And then bring the right knee to the chest. Use your left hand and pull gently into a spinal twist. Letting the knee drop down towards the floor on the left. Relax the right shoulder. Slow, full breath. And then to the back again. Bring both knees into the chest. Hug them gently in. Lengthen the lower back, the back of the neck. And then straighten the right leg out onto the mat and pull the left knee to the breastbone. Right hand on the front right thigh and pull the left knee to the left armpit. Keep the pelvis steady. And then with your right hand, pull your knee up to your right shoulder. Keep your tailbone down. And then relax into the center. Be sure you feel your tailbone rooting down. Extend the left leg straight up. Support it for a moment as you reconnect with your inner core, the pelvic floor and the belt. The ribs knitting and imprinting. Bring your thumbs to your ribs, your fingers to your hips. Circle the leg 5 times, small and slow. Steady pelvis. Make it smaller and slower rather than allow the pelvis to rock at all. Keep the ribs down. Keep them knitting together in the front. Reset after you've done 5, reverse directions. And then bend the knee. Here's your right hand. Pull towards a spinal twist. You don't have to get anywhere in particular. Let your body slowly open towards the twist. And then take a few full breaths here. And return to the back. Bring both knees into the chest. Lengthen the lower back and the back of the neck. And keep that length in the back of the neck as you bring your feet down. Relax the arms comfortably. We're going to do the neck series. The chin is firmly down towards the notch of the neck. And gently press the back of the head into the mat. And keep the chin tucked and barely unweight the head. You're going to feel the muscles in the neck working. Lower the head back down and press. This is 1 millimeter or 2 of a lift, not an inch. Tiny lift, unweighting, just enough to slide a piece of paper under the head. And then lower and press. And you might not even leave the floor. Honor your neck muscle. You want to keep this sensation in the neck. Little lift, gentle press. One more time, little lift, and gentle press, and then relax. We're going to do a rotation. Turn your head, look out over your left shoulder. Your left ear is aiming towards the mat. Press down into the left ear, and then pull straight up from the right ear. And lower back down, press. Tiny little lift. Tiny lift up, straight from the right ear, and lower and press gently through the left ear. Little tiny lift up with the right, gentle press down with the left. One more time. Finish with a gentle press. Turn the head to the center, relax for a moment. And then rotate and look out over your right shoulder, aiming your right ear towards the mat. Press gently down and unweight the head. Little lift up straight from the left ear. Press and little lift. And press down through the right ear. And a little lift up through the left. One last time, press and a lift. And then finish with a press. And release back into the center, let everything relax. Now as you're relaxing, connect with the point that's at the back of your head in contact with the mat. When we do our side bend, that exact point is still going to be touching the mat. So keep that point at the back of the head on the mat. Bring your left ear down towards your left shoulder. You might need to adjust a little bit to find that point again, but find it. It's going to have your nose pointing straight up towards the ceiling, and then press right down into that point at the middle of the back of the head, and unweight as though someone's pulling straight up from your nose. Press, and a little tiny lift, just unweighting the head, and lower and press. You should notice by now how heavy your head is. Little lift, and little press. One more time. Little lift up, and little press, and then relax and bring the head into the center. As you relax in the center, please again notice that point at the back of the head. That's going to be your point of contact when we side bend the other way. So continue to notice the point. Bring the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Feel that point of contact at the back of the head, and then look straight up from the nose and press gently down into it. Little lift up, and gentle press down, and lift, and press, one more set, and little press, and then relax, come back into the center, and now we're going to tilt the head back so the chin is jutting up towards the ceiling. Gently press into that upper back part of the back of the head and unweight like someone's pulling straight up in your chin. And press down and lift straight up from the chin. Remember, just a tiny lift and lower and press. Tiny lift, lower and press. One more little lift, lower and press. And then relax into the center. Check that your shoulders are relaxed. Let the back of the head sink down. Feel your neutral rest position. The feet are evenly balanced. Back of the pelvis settled. Neutral in the lower back. Relaxed in the belly. Soft in the ribs. Back ribs sinking down. Shoulders easy. Relaxed all the way to the fingertips. Release in the neck and the throat, and soften around the whole skull. Okay. Well, we'll turn to the left side. Going to lie on the left side with the knees comfortably bent. Rest your left arm out underneath your ear. Add some support between your arm and your ear if you are uncomfortable there. Bring your top hand to your top waist and soften into gravity. Waist is soft and passive now. We're going to do an organ lift. Picture the organs dropping down into the floor. Inhale, prepare for the organ lift. And exhale, lifting from the floor. Raise your organs up. Feel them lift up towards the ceiling. Begin to notice underneath the hands. Feel that tone there. Continue to lift your organs up, and then keep your knees on the ground and lift your feet up, and increase the organ lift just a little bit. Keep the increased organ lift in place. Lower the feet, and then relax. Let the organs sink down to the floor. Soften the belly completely relaxing into gravity. And from there, exhale, lift your organs up off of the floor towards the ceiling, engage upwards. Keep the thought of lifting them as you raise your feet up, and then keep engaging the organs up towards the ceiling as you lower the feet, and then relax into gravity. Let everything soften. One more time. Exhale, lift your organs. Keep them lifting. Add the lift of the feet. Continue to increase that organ lift as you lower the feet. Maintain it. Keep lifting your organs and straighten your legs out. And then lift the top leg up. You're still in an organ lift. And circle the top leg 5 times. Relax the neck and shoulders. And then go 5 times the other way. And then lower the top leg down, let everything relax. Soften into gravity. Inhale, prepare for an inner core engagement, the pelvic floor and the belt first. So when you engage the belt, this should not tone up in the waist. And then add your organ lift. You should feel now the belt engaged. Lift both legs up and pause right there. And then 5 times lower and lift the bottom leg. Good. Once the bottom leg is down, we're going to maintain the top leg up, reassert the organ lift, pull the ribs together, and exhale, move the leg back. And inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, move back. And inhale, forward. Take your fingers and feel your ribs and your pelvis in relationship to each other again. They should be completely still. We don't want the ribs jutting forward. Definitely don't want the shoulders counterbalancing the pelvis. Don't go forward and back with the pelvis, just the leg. When you're done with 5 forward and back there, re-engage your inner core, your organ lift. Lift the bottom leg up. We're going to keep both legs lifted. Flex the feet back, squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes, flex the feet back. Squeeze the toes, point, fan, flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex back and reverse it. Keep the toes open, reach, squeeze the toes and pull back. Open, stretch out, reach, squeeze and pull back. One more time. And then lower both legs down. Soften completely. Keeping your knees where they are, bend them so that you're in a 0-degree hip flexion. Your knees directly underneath your head, your feet behind you. Keep your hands on your waist. Inhale, prepare for an inner core engagement. Add an organ lift. And then 10 times we're going to roll the top leg out in the socket. Keep the pelvis and the ribs steady. And 5 more. Think of pressing the right hip forward slightly. When you're done with those, relax completely. And then we're going to bring the knees to 45-degree hip flexion, knees forward, feet underneath you. Put your hands on your waist. Keep your waist soft now. No organ lift. Engage the inner core. So think of the belt around the hips, not flexing in the waist. And do 10 repetitions, external rotation here. Trying to keep the waist soft and the pelvis steady. 5 more. When you're done, relax that. And bring your right elbow and put it onto the right waist. Make a gentle fist with the right hand or work the rotator cuff a little. Squeeze your inner core and a gentle organ lift. And then keep your wrist straight. Raise the right hand up and bring it down. Good. If you want to use a 1-pound weight here, you can do that. Not heavier than that though. We're under 15 rotations. Keep the elbow really stuck to the side. Might not feel like much at first, it probably won't, but gradually keep the elbow to the side, feel the rotation, keep the descent very smooth and controlled. Five more. And when you're done, relax completely. And we're going to take one more angle for the clamshells, 90 degrees at the hips. That means the feet and the knees are at the front of the mat. Put your hand on your waist and soften it. Engage your inner core, just the pelvic floor and the belt. And then if you want to move your hand to your hip, you can. This is soft in the belly, waist is soft, pelvis is steady. Bring the right knee forward, the right hip forward, and then roll the leg out in the socket. 10 repetitions here. When you're done with those, turn over onto your back and constructive rest for a moment. Let yourself completely relax into gravity. Sinking down through the feet, the back of the pelvis, shoulder blades, back of the head. And then let's turn to the right side. We're beginning with the knees comfortably bent. Make sure the neck and shoulders are in a comfortable position. Relax the neck and shoulders, soften the belly. If you have your hand on your waist, you're going to feel it's really sinking down between the hips and the ribs. Let all the organs drop down into gravity. Inhale, prepare for an organ lift. And exhale, lift the organs up off of the floor. Feel the engagement in the waist gradually increasing. And then keep your organs lifting and raise both feet up. Keep them lifting and lower both feet down. And then relax, let everything soften. And again, exhale, lift your organs up off of the floor. Feel the engagement in the waist and then raise both feet up. See if that amps up the organ lift a little bit. Keep that increased work as you lower the feet down. And then let everything relax, soften completely. Let the organs drop down into the floor. One more time, inhale. And exhale, lift the organs. Then lift the feet. Keep that added work going as the feet go down and continue to engage your organ lift as you straighten both legs out. Keep the organ lift going. Raise the top leg up and circle 5 times each way. And reverse. Relax the neck and shoulders. When you're done with the 5 in each direction, rest the top leg down, let everything soften. And then reset the inner core and the organ lift. Squeeze your inner thighs, lift both legs up, and then from there lower the bottom leg and lift it back up. Lower and lift. Lower, lift, lower, and lift. Lower, re-stabilize, pull your front ribs in, exhale, take your top leg behind you, and inhale, bring it forward. We're keeping the bottom leg on the floor today. Really being aware of the stabilizing between the ribs and the hips. Keep that relationship constant. Shoulders are still. Ribs continually knitting together. When you reach back, exhale and feel that the sensation is the stretch of the front thigh. No compression in the lower back. When you've done the 5, pause in the center. Reset the inner core, pelvic floor and the belt, the organ lift, raise the bottom leg up, then flex your feet back, squeeze your toes, point the feet, fan the toes out and flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex, squeeze, point, fan, flex, and then open your toes and reach, squeeze, and pull back. Open, reach out, squeeze, and pull back one more time. Then relax both legs down. Let everything soften. Then we're going to bend at the knees, keeping the knees under the head, preparing for 0 degree clamshells, no hip flexion. Engage the inner core. Take your organ lift and steady the pelvis as you 10 times externally rotate the leg in the socket. Five more. When you're done, let that relax completely. And we bend the knees to the front of the mat. The feet are still underneath you, so you're basically back in your comfortable side lying position. 45-degree hip flexion. Put your hand on your waist and check that it's soft. Engage the inner core. So this is not an organ lift. Feel the difference. Keep it soft in the waist and keep it solid around the pelvis. Rock the left hip forward and then 10 times lifting the knee by rotating the leg out in the socket. Keep the pelvis completely still. And 5 more times. When you're done, relax. Bring your left elbow right onto the left waist. Make a gentle fist. And you can use a 1 pound weight, but not heavier, please. Gentle engagement in the inner core, an organ lift, and external rotation in the left shoulder joint. 15 repetitions here. Working on the rotator cuff. Keep the movement slow. Be sure that elbow stays glued to the waist the whole time. The movement is originating at the top of the arm. The humeral head's rolling in the socket. The socket is composed mainly of the rotator cuff. There's not much bony socket, so we're working the muscles that hold the humeral head in place. When you're done with those, relax completely. And we'll go to the third clamshell position, 90-degree flexion at the hip. That means the feet and the knees are at the front of the mat. Line the knees up, tilt the left hip forward a little bit. Again, start with your hands on your waist, relax. Engage your inner core without taking an organ lift. Then you can place your hand on your left hip and make sure it stays steady as you rotate the left leg out in the socket 10 times. When you're done, let's turn onto the back in constructive rest pose again. Softening down into the floor. Feel the tailbone sinking right down into the middle of the pelvis. We're going to stretch the piriformis, support around the pelvis, knit and imprint the ribs. Keep the pelvis steady as you lift your right foot and cross the right ankle to the left knee. Keep supporting around the pelvis and lift the left foot up. Support the leg however it works for you. We're going to stay for a 90-second stretch here. Keep your tailbone right in the center. If the back was flat, you can, if you prefer to stretch with the back flat, that's fine. Just don't roll to the right side. We're trying to find a stretch in the right buttock. You can adjust as you need to. You can move your foot farther to the left if you like. You can hold around the back of the thigh or over the front of the shin. Relax the shoulders, no strain in the neck. You can definitely have something behind your head here. About 30 more seconds. Then reconnect with the core to support lowering the left foot down and then the right. And stay anchored as you lift the left foot up. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Stay in the center of the pelvis. Lift the right foot up. And find a way to support the right leg. Stretching in the left buttock. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the neck. Slow breathing. Again, 90 seconds here. Check with the shoulders, be sure they're relaxed, the back of the neck is long. Thirty more seconds, stay with it. Get in support and lower the right foot, then the left. Relax into constructive rest. Reconnect with your low core muscles, knit and imprint, and we're going to do a compound leg lift to prepare for the abdominal series. Flip the right foot up, imprint the back ribs and bring the left foot up. Keep both feet up. Feel your ribs reaching towards the opposite back pockets. Lift your head, extend one leg, both hands on the bent knee, and switch. Single leg stretch. Keep the elbows high and wide, the chin into the chest. Then transition to the double leg stretch. Keep your ribs imprinting. Exhale, reach out. And inhale, come back in. Exhale, straighten the legs. Keep the back ribs imprinting. Arms reach behind you. Exhale, stretch away from the center, arms and legs. Inhale, bend the knees and circle the arms twice more. Exhale away from center and inhale back in. Back ribs stay imprinting. Now keep both legs straight and go to the single straight leg. You can gently pull behind the leg, behind the shin, the calf or the thigh, not behind the knee, please. Both legs stay up, support your head with your hands, imprint those ribs, feel your neutral spine, lower the legs down just a little bit, keep neutral and come back up. And a little bit down, keep neutral, and back up. And lower, maintain the neutral lower back and come back up twice more. Bend the knees and begin your crisscross. The legs are bicycling. Ribs are knitting and imprinting. Elbows stay out wide and you reach across with your armpit towards the bent knee. Then bring both knees to the chest, rest the head down. Lengthen the back of the neck. Slowly turn your head from one side to the other. Come back into a neutral tabletop, relax the arms. Engage the inner core, knit and imprint. Bring the right foot down and then the left foot down. If you have something behind your head, take it out now. We're going to do a hinging pelvic lift, keeping a neutral spine. So gather the ribs around the neutral spine position and exhale, press into the feet, raise the hips towards the ceiling, not rolling, and then hinge back down. Just because we're not rolling doesn't mean that we don't use the obliques, so we wrap them around to preserve the neutral spine shape. Twice more, exhale to push up, and inhale to hinge back down. The joint where we're moving is right in the hip crease. One more time, exhale, press up. Inhale, hinge, back down, and relax in neutral. Then we're turning to the belly. Arms extended straight out in front, forehead on the mat, legs relaxed. Relax the front of the thighs and the buttocks. Engage the inner core, knit and imprint your ribs. Gently press your palms down and raise your chest and head up off the mat. Feel your shoulders pull down the mat. Open the chest without tilting the chin and lower back down. Do that twice more. Engage around the pelvis. Pull the ribs in and raise the chest. Draw the shoulders down the back. Open the breastbone. And then relax back down. One more time. Exhale to lift. And relax back down. And now come up into a Sphinx position. Place your elbows directly under your shoulders. Engage your inner core and then tilt the pelvis. Flatten out the lower back a little bit, supporting well with the whole inner core structure and your ribs knitting and imprinting. Press down into your forearms, draw your shoulders down your back, and one knee at a time, bend at the knee and kick, kick. Keep the pelvis still. Kick, 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 kick. If you like, you can point flex, point flex, point flex, point flex. Do one more set. When you're done, come up to all fours. I'm going to draw the breastbone forward, opening the front of the chest. Exhale, engage the low core, tuck your tail, and soften your shoulders, your neck, your elbows, and move your hips back to your heels. And inhale, lift, bring the breastbone forward, open the chest. And exhale, engage the low belly, tuck the tail, soften neck, shoulders, drop your elbows down, move your hips to your heels. Twice more. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, engage the low belly, tuck the tail, drop the head, bring the hips back. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Take a moment in the child's pose, let everything relax, and just put your breath into your back ribs. Let's slowly sit up, and that'll do it. So we're back on track for Wednesdays at 5:45, and those of you who come regularly, will you remind me if you all have TheraBands, because there's some exercises we could do if I know that you have TheraBands at home. If not, we can get you some. But you can put a comment if you have one or if you need one. All right, thanks, enjoy the day, and hope you see you soon.